You know what the worst word for any entrepreneur is? It's the word fear. And I can tell you something, being involved in entrepreneurship for almost 7 years, there's not a single entrepreneur that I met that does not fear something. So today we're gonna have a heart-to-heart conversation and we're gonna talk about fear. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you need to do and how you need to be able to overcome the fear that you have. Because the reality is sometimes fear can be a benefit to you, but you must know how to use it. And here's a small story for you guys. I remember like it was yesterday when we were starting out the business. My fear of failing was so much that I wasn't taking any action. Because in my mind, if I do this, what if I fail? What if the money I put in fades away? What if all this hard work just does not pay out? And you gotta believe me when I tell you, a lot of people think like this. And that will lead me to my first tip. And it's understanding and recognizing when to think and when not to think. You see, there has to be a balance between overthinking and underthinking. Because I know a lot of people that overthink stuff, and I know people that just underthink stuff. So when realizing the middle ground between both, you'll know how to break through your fears. And that would take me to my second tip. You must be able to rewire your brain of how to think about fear. Because I understand change is difficult. Challenging yourself in tough times must be difficult. Doing things that other people have never done, I promise you, is very difficult. But here's my biggest thing for you, is you have to be able to somewhat control your thoughts. Because if you're not able to control how you're thinking, you're gonna go from a negative thought to another negative thought to another negative thought that will lead you into a hole that sometimes is very hard to get out of. And that takes me to my third point. It's a saying that I heard when I was young. You must face the monster under your bed. Now, I promise you, the best leaders and the best business people that I've seen, they have the ability to face fear just head on. I'll never forget this story. I was sitting down with a guy and he was sitting beside me. And there's something really big happening in his company and he was shaking. And he was very, very calm. He got a call. He was a little upset. He sat down for 5 minutes. He did this little breathing technique. He went up and he just started attacking. And he just had calls over calls over calls just to make sure all his clients are okay. Although he was afraid, but this is something that he had to do to ensure that his company doesn't go bankrupt. That takes me to my fourth point. You see, it's so easy to fall into the victim mindset that the whole world is against you, that nothing is working. And especially when you have a couple things that just did not work well, now you see that the world is collapsing. But an exercise that I've done that has helped me so much is practicing gratitude. Yes, I said it. Is pulling up a pen and paper and writing what you're grateful for. Now, you can do this quickly every day. You can have it in the days that you're really stressed and really have a couple pages. I remember once I was so stressed, I took like 5 pages and I wrote down everything that I'm grateful for. From the little things to the biggest things. And that allowed me to take 5 minutes out of this negative thinking and really think of things from an outsider. Here's another story for you guys. I remember I was with one of my mentors and we were talking about fears. And he knows that I'm very closed off towards them. I'm not really sharing a lot of things, especially what I'm afraid of. And his mentor was there. So he kept asking him, because he was a trusted person, he was talking to him about his fear. He was talking about, hey, I'm afraid this is gonna happen. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And he was taking advice. And then I reached out to him and I'm like, listen, I'm sorry for being closed. I just didn't know this is what I should be doing. And he's always told me, he's like, Rakan, you must have somebody trusted that you can share your affairs with, so you can have a third party perspective on what you're thinking. That takes me to my last point, which is controlling your imagination. You see, it is so tough sometimes for us when we're thinking in such a negative way to take that away and think of positive stuff. Things can be happening really, really bad around us, and your mind will just make it 10 times worse. Your imagination will make it 10 times worse. Your imagination will not allow you to take a step forward because you're so paralyzed that you may make the wrong move. And this is why I truly believe entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and not everybody succeeds in entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is harder on the inside than it is on the outside. You see, I can give you the best strategies for building your business or making millions of dollars in your business, but what's gonna really fix it is videos like this, fixing on the inside, because I promise you, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So learn how to control your imagination. Learn how to steer your imagination in a good way. Learn how to allow your mind to think more positive than it does negative. Because I promise you, your brain is not wired for positive. It's wired for negative. It's wired to protect you. In thinking negative, thinking of the worst, is how your mind protects you. So I hope you face your fears. That would actually be my task for you. Write down a fear that you're gonna face and attack it head on right after the video. And drop in the comments if you are facing something today. And if you face something that you overcame it as well, share it in the comments. If you know somebody that needs to hear this video, share it with them. And I cannot wait to see you in other upcoming videos.